Great. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm going to be less technology-oriented than the last presenters. I'll be talking about innovation in general, and especially in the banking industry and retail banking. But of course, it's also some of the lessons we've learned in the last decade would apply to other sectors as well. I spent the first 15 years of my career in Canada. It might surprise you to know I'm Albanian. I worked mostly in financial services and telecommunications, where technology was always a challenge. Competitively, you had to embrace the latest technologies, bring them to market quickly in order to keep your competitive edge. The last 16 years, I've been working in developing markets in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, and it's been a very different experience. You're not, at the beginning at least, you're not bringing the latest technologies ahead of your competition. You're bringing tried and true technologies from more advanced markets to this market and trying to get people onto it so that you basically bring them forward and catch up to the other markets. 11 years ago, I joined Raiffeisen Bank here in Albania. I came here in 2004, and I had a kind of a unique opportunity. After 3 years, I left Albania and went to Ukraine to work for Raiffeisen, and then came back at the end of 2009. And what I found interesting about it was the first 3 years, I felt the change here was so slow, and I hear a lot of people say that even since I've come back the last 5 years. But when you go away for 3 years and come back, it's unbelievable the change that this country is going through. And I think it's every day there's incremental change. And so when you live here, you just see very small changes. And I hear my colleagues, Albanian colleagues especially, always lamenting that change is too slow. But in fact, it's going very fast, and it's going to go faster. And of course, it's fast in developing markets because you're doing a lot of catch-up. So you can go a lot faster than the developed markets in terms of new technologies. I'll see if this works. Raiffeisen bought the savings bank 11 years ago, beginning of 2004, and at the time they bought it, of course, it was quite an old-fashioned institution. It was a deposit bank. In the last 11 years, we've turned it into quite a modern universal bank, and I represent retail. And so we brought a lot of new things. We brought a lot of new things to our bank. We transformed our bank from a very old-fashioned savings bank into the modern bank it is today. But because of our size, we were the biggest bank in Albania at the time. We also helped transform the market. So it's quite a fascinating thing to be able to participate in something like that. And it's not just that we brought new things to this market, but also that we had the power, the marketing budgets, the sales and distribution channels, the biggest branch network in the country, the salespeople, to actually drive that change through to the population. And that's really going to be the theme of my short presentation. Is innovation is about technology and new ways of doing things, but it's also about bringing the customer along. When I look back at the last 11 years, I can really look at it in three different types of innovation: no tech, low tech, and high tech. No tech, I mean things like bringing management practices, customer service, modernizing branches, marketing programs, bringing a different way of doing business. And when we did that, we basically transformed the way our customers looked at retail banking and how they saw retail banking fitting in their life and how they used retail banking. When I talk low tech, it was things like working with the government to introduce salary processing through the banks instead of receiving it in cash, ATM networks, plastic cards, and POS. And of course, these were existing basic services in other countries that we brought to this country, but it created a huge transformation of how people did retail banking here. And then now in the last 5 years, we've been much more into higher tech changes, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. But first, I want to talk about the people part of innovation. As this country is moving faster and faster towards catch-up, it also starts to get into the new technologies. And what we've seen as we've introduced basic changes, more intermediate changes, and lately higher tech changes, is that the adoption by the consumer is less and less. So they're not keeping pace with the number of changes that we're bringing to banking, and I assume that goes for other sectors as well. So really what it means is when we're innovating, we don't just innovate the technology, we have to innovate our customers, we have to innovate the people, we have to bring them up to speed, we have to get them comfortable with using things. One of the things I've noticed since I started working in developing countries is that in Canada, we would look at customer demand and we would try to beat the competition in providing the solutions for that customer demand in a better way and a cheaper way. But when you're in developing markets, you realize often there's no demand for what are expected services in other markets. There are needs, but not demands, and that's because people don't know what they're missing. They've never had experience with some of the newer solutions. So when you come to markets like a developing market, it's important that you understand the needs, you look at the technologies available, you choose the best ones for where the market's at, but then you have to create the demand before you get your business. So you have to teach people what the solution is, you've got to make them aware of their needs. Albanians are quite used to dealing with the status quo and accepting life as it is. So you have to show them how life can be better and how our solutions can bring them forward. So it's very important to continue to do that. So as an innovator, you really need to understand when to invest in technology, when to invest in education of customers. In 2005, we had our biggest change in this market. It was I guess, low tech. The government decided to pay all the employees through the banks, and they approached us at first. And it was an exciting opportunity for us. It was also a very scary thing to think of tens of thousands of people descending on our branches every salary day to collect their cash. At the time, there was probably about 4 or 5 ATMs in the country. American Bank of Albania was the one that was bringing these things in, but they weren't big enough to really do a big distribution of it. So rather than dealing with the crush at our branches, we within months built a network of ATMs all across the country with 60 locations to begin with. Now we're over 200. And we also managed to get 50,000 debit cards into the hands of some of these government employees. So we thought the job was done, but it wasn't even started yet. They all came to the branches to collect their cash anyways with their debit cards. They even sent messages from the office with a bag full of cards asking for the cash so that he could bring it back to the office and pay them. So we had to create classrooms on the sidewalk. We hired people, we trained them, and they stood in front of the ATMs every salary day. And as the customers came towards the branch, intercepted them and taught them how to use ATMs. And as you see today, ATMs are a common fabric of banking in this country. So again, it just drove home the critical need of customer education versus just bringing more technology. The last 5 years, we've moved into more higher tech types of innovations. We started, of course, we caught up with internet banking in 2010, but we then moved to the mobile. And there's no question that Albania is leapfrogging internet and desktop access to the web and going right into mobile. And so we launched mobile banking in 2011. We did e-commerce in 2012, and we launched MPay with our partners at MPay plus another bank in 2013. There's two interesting observations here. One, logically, if you looked at customers in a developing market, you would have launched it the other way around. You would have taken MPay first, which has mass appeal and is the simplest service to use. You would have established a base of usage of M services, and then you would have moved them up to more sophisticated things like M-banking. But of course, we had to introduce it as the technology was available, and M-payments technology was not available when M-banking was. The second thing was that even though I say we have to educate customers, and we do, we've actually had pretty good success. The last 2 years, we didn't introduce any major new services, but we've gone back and started building our subscriptions, and we now have about 11% penetration of our customer base with mobile financial services, which by way of comparison, US is 32% and Canada is 22%. I'm a little liberal in what I call mobile financial services. I'm not talking only M-banking, I'm talking M-payment through MPay. But really, to get this market into mobile banking, you have to start with a simple service like that. What we've seen, though, is that we've got the subscriptions, but the usage of it is very simple. It's a lot of balance inquiries, and they're just starting to get into paying their utilities, etc. So again, more education is needed of the consumer before we start investing in more technology. Going forward, we see the pace of change will just accelerate. The types of change will be more technology-oriented, and the customer has more chance of getting lost. We're seeing things that were talked about back in the late 90s, convergence of telecommunications and financial services. M-Pesa was launched last week. We're working with them, but it's Vodafone that brought that here. M-Pay's been around for 2 years. So we see this convergence starting to happen. We also see mobile being the cornerstone of future developments in banking, in digital banking. The economic development will bring things on faster, and the catch-up will continue. So really what we would say to the market makers and market shapers here, which would include regulators, government, suppliers, mobile operators, banks, is that we really need to get in behind customer education and make the customer familiar with the new services that we're offering and to accept them and start to use them. Otherwise, all of these investments in platforms really are wasted if people aren't using them. So with that, I'll leave the last word, which is no matter what you do in innovation, and it's driven home to me working in these developing markets, it's still always about people. And if you leave the people behind, all the technology that you bring to the market means nothing. So for sure, we're going to continue to innovate in retail banking. We're going to continue to launch new mobile-based services for banking, but we're also investing more and more into education. And again, I would urge all our partners and NGOs and anybody else that wants to help this market to advance to please consider investment in customer education, awareness, and familiarity, as well as in technology. Thank you very much for listening to me, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.